it's interesting. You mentioned Josh Gattis. Um, do you think there's any possibility of him getting a job after the playoff game or national championship? Head coaching job, I guess I should clarify. He has a job.
That'll be pretty late in the game, but we've seen what Mel Tucker get a job, take the what the MSU job in February, was it something like that? So I guess it wouldn't be too late. Very possible, dude. I mean, you're talking about a guy who just won assistant of the year, right? And
Hmm.
then the turnaround and the improvement that the Michigan offense had this year. He'll have all the momentum in the world, on his side. Absolutely. There are so many Division 1 jobs or opportunities, right? And you guys got to think about, when you think about Josh Gaddis for his first job, we're not thinking about, you're not going to consider a big boy job like, Oregon or, I don't know,
Texas.
Texas. Like, no, no, no. But it's a lot of, schools in the MAC or American Conference, Connecticut. I did Connecticut. I know they fired their coach. They were dreadful. Like, like there are schools that would take a chance on Josh guys. Absolutely. So no, I mean, I think it's a decent chance that he could leave, right? And if he gets a head coaching job opportunity, I wouldn't blame him. That's what these guys do this for, is to move up the ladder. And once again, like we talk about with players from recruiting, that's also you experience that at Bama all the time. That's also the flip side of having well-respected assistant coaches that you don't keep them in house very long. I think Brent Venables was an exception. How long was he with Dabo?
He was with
And
Dabo for a while.
for
I
a
think
long
I
time.
I want to say oof, it might have been for most of Dabo's tenure as the head coach there.
And he's
He,
been sought after. It's not like it's just recently. He's been sought after for the last, I'll say, 3 to 4 years. They've been really interested. There have been many schools interested in Venables, but he's been very patient, right, with the right opportunity. So that's just a flip. He's an exception. Most big time assistants, um, once it gets the momentum on their side, those head coaching jobs, they take them, right? Rightfully so. So, what Michigan needs, what Harbaugh will hopefully have to do is, keep that in mind, and someone needs to make sure they're looking out for his replacement potentially. Maybe is it Mike Hart? Is it Bellamy? We'll see.
yeah. John Johnson actually just had an interesting comment. He says, I feel a scary comparison to Georgia with Jake Fromm and picking him over Justin Fields. They regretted
Yeah,
that decision greatly. And he put Cadis Fromm. I'm just saying. That's a very interesting point.
it
And,
is.
and yes, I would agree because if Justin Fields is on that Georgia team, they're winning at least one national championship,
But that's the
probably two.
conundrum, though. But think about that conundrum, right? I mean, Jake Fromm. I mean, what did Georgia put up? With 42 points in an overtime loss? I mean, it's not
Yeah.
like if it was anybody else out of Bama. Actually, let's keep it real. I mean, like it took
If it was Bama, I mean, if that was Georgia versus Bama,
though.
Georgia's winning that game. They're
I,
winning that game.
I mean, like it was an incredible. That's one of the best national title games I think in the last 10 years. I mean, and Jake Fromm played. He did fine.
Hmm.
Like it's like think about Kirby Smart's situation. I mean, you got this 5-star kid, but at the time, that was Jake Fromm's redshirt freshman year. It was that very similar. He had a ton
That
of
was it.
eligibility.
So that was from sophomore year, true sophomore year.
That was his
The
true
year,
sophomore year. Well,
yeah,
same thing. His second year
yeah.
on campus. It's like he has tons of eligibility left. So I mean, think about the conundrum. This kid just got you to the national title game, and you probably should have won it. You know what
Hmm.
I'm saying? So it's tough. It's tough. And if you
And
remember,
go ahead.
they tried to sprinkle Justin Fields in a couple times, and it just didn't work.
They
So
did it awfully. It was terrible. They put him on the punt. He was like the personal protector on the punt team, and they ran a
yeah,
fake with him. I'm like, what
yeah.
is this? But the
It-
thing I was gonna say is, Justin Fields obviously ended up leaving and going to Ohio State, but the transfer rules are easier now than they were then. Like that
Absolutely.
now you could transfer and you're eligible right away. Before you needed some kind of waiver or you needed something. Like it wasn't a normal thing. Like it was just in general, the default is you need to sit out. And if you were able to get a waiver, then yeah, you may be able to play right away. But sometimes too, coaches would block that stuff. So if you were transferring from my school, some coaches would block it and say, no, we're not gonna release you to play in our same conference, or just would do stupid stuff like that. And I guess that kind of gets me to the point of like all these coaches that are just kind of up in arms talking about these players are now manipulating the system and blah blah blah. And I'm just like, this was a system that you guys made millions of dollars on
You
and
get to
still
leave whenever
do.
you want to. You get to
Right.
pack your bags, and
Right.
you get to say in one team meeting, guys, I'm not going anywhere when there's a lot
Yep.
of fire, and then the very next day,
Breaking
not for,
news.
look,
Coach
look,
Artis
look,
is,
look,
is
look,
heading.
look. Hey, this is Monday. Heartfelt. Guys, know it's been a lot of reports out there. Just want you guys to know that I love it here. And I want you to focus on that upcoming bowl game that we have. 24 hours later, you know what? I know we discussed yesterday, but an opportunity came to the table that was best for my family and I, and I have to make this move. Yeah, like that stuff like that
And
happens
those
all the
man, those
time.
guys don't even do that. They got their bags and stuff. Hey guys, man, we had a great season. It's good seeing you guys. Yeah, I'm headed down to Louisiana. Yeah, I got to go down there and then
Gotta
get
go.
into a
It's
basketball
like good
game. I'm
crawfish.
down here with my family, and we're just so proud to be here in Louisiana because of these fans. Like, yeah, it's cutthroat, but I'm glad that things are the way they are. I'm glad these kids are getting paid. I'm glad that they get to transfer and they have that ability to move, because I think that's important. You're potentially, with the old rules, we're blocking these guys from getting opportunities to go to the NFL. I mean, look at Joe Burrow, the amount of generational money he made by being the number one pick. Like that may not have happened with the old transfer rules. So I'm all about it. And I think was he. I don't think he was a fifth-year senior at that point, but nonetheless, I'm glad that things are the way they are, and more power to these young men. Get your NIL deal, make that cash,
It
play
is
ball,
incredible though,
and,
dude. I
and get
mean, like
drafted, man.
this kid couldn't. Ewers hasn't even taken a snap. He's
Nope.
already a millionaire.
Yep.
Like
Well,
what?
Bryce
Oh,
Young got the same thing. I think he had before the first game, he had some. I don't think his was quite $1 million, like I don't know, $800,000 or something like that. But yeah, no, I'm happy for all these kids. Get
ooh,
that
real
money.
quick, Desmond. This literally just came to mind. Real quick, this is a football show. Maybe this is a way that you can keep kids in college basketball. We'll talk about that off air. We'll talk about it off air. That literally just came to mind. I was like, man, does this expand to other sports in college? Hmm. You know,
The NIL.
yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, Paige, I call her Paige Buckets. I think Beckers is her last name, but she signed a huge deal with Gatorade. I think
UConn, right?
she's injured, right? Yeah, she's at UConn.
Yeah.
She was like the player of the year last year. She's injured, but nonetheless, she got it too. And the crazy part is that people were saying that she's probably making more money with her NIL deal at
WNBA.
UConn than if she were in
Yeah.
the WNBA. I'm like,
Jeez.
oh
Yes.
my Lord. If you want to talk about a
A slap in the
backwards
face to
league,
the
good
WNBA league.
Lord.
Can you imagine that? Like, and that is so embarrassing. Like, they can do like the money she made at college. She probably made more money in college than she would 4, 5, 6 years in the WNBA. But
Mm-hmm.
anyway, I know it's insane to think about, but no, and NIL is only going to expand. We're going to see it in college basketball soon. That's going to be interesting when that happens. Because maybe you'll see these one and dones go away or whatever it is. But anyway, the point is that things are evolving, and and we're going to have to find ways to deal with it.
They'll adjust. I mean, because you really don't have any other choice, and they have the budget and seemingly the support of the administration, and that's really all you need. And then I think Harbaugh and his staff has the motivation, so they'll be fine. Just got to
Or
adjust
you
and
can
roll
just
with
be
it.
like Dion and just get the bag secure for players.
Man, hey, whatever it takes.
Get them down
Whatever it
to good
takes.
old Jackson State.
Jackson, Mississippi, baby.
My goodness. That
Yeah.
one you hear about the kid probably start no one recruiting the country.
Yep.
My goodness.
See you later.
Literally, like no shit, like literally, look. And here's the funny part too. Ironically, both of them are going to end up at Florida State. Who are we kidding? The Florida State job is just screaming for Deion Sanders, right? So, hey, whatever.
We'll see.